that the party needs the full participation of youth for what he called the institutional memory to be realized. What was on show here is significant strengthening of the APRC party's commitment to bringing on board all Gambians in the political process and governance of the country, and for the citizenry across the country to have equal rights to opportunities and resources, and live in an environment that is not detrimental to the well-being, safety, security, and interests, among other things. Other things. Buba SMCC, GRTS.
A team of plastic surgeons is in the country to perform reconstructive surgery on people with conditions such as cleft palates, skin bones, tumors, contraction, and keloids. The initiative is a medical humanitarian aid courtesy of the Rotary International and their partners. We have details of that story in this report by Fatou Janembaye.
In 1905, ASB Clinic, a German-based NGO, finds its roots into the Gambia in 2002, focusing mainly on wound dressing, but evolves into a charity organization in 2005 with 5 maternity wards. The initiative is anchored on helping better the lives of Gambians. As a tradition, the ASB Clinic every year receives medical doctors from Germany. This year's team, headed by Dr. Lee and Dr. Nob from the Rotary Club of Oldenburg, will perform surgical operations on cleft palates, targeting children, skin bones, tumors, contractions, and keloids. For the president of the Fajara Rotary Club, Minyan Job, described the partnership between the Rotary Club of Fajara and the Rotary Club of Oldenburg.
The Rotary Club of Fajara and the Rotary Club of Oldenburg come together on a joint initiative to raise funds to sponsor the ASB Clinic on a grant called Medical Humanitarian Aid for the ASB Clinic to help support the clinic, buy new equipment, and then increase the capacity of the clinic, and send 3 staff, local staff, Gambians, to Germany to study how to use and operate this equipment.
Asked on their future plans, the president of the Rotary Club of Fajara has this to say.
One of them is to entice people like yourself to come and join the Rotary Club of Fajara, and then create awareness about Rotary in the country, build more projects for the benefit of the Gambian people.
According to Dr. Lee, with tumors on the face can make some of the basic routines such as eating, drinking, or even breathing for the individual. He went on to highlight some of the causes of tumors, which includes excessive alcohol consumption and smoking, while describing the different types of tumors.
We have this side, we have a lot of tumor type. We have the squamous cell carcinoma, one of the most common tumors in the oral cavity. We have also, the tumors from the bone tissue. We call it osteosarcoma. And we have also something very special for this area. For example, the fibrous dysplasia. It's one kind of deformity. It's not a real tumor, but it makes the people become ugly,
The experienced surgeon expresses some of the challenges they face as surgeons when performing critical operations, particularly on children.
At first, this is a big challenge for the anesthetist, for the people to give them anesthesia, because this is very, very sensible for anesthesists to give them the general anesthesia, because of the body mass, because of the liquid, and because of all the drugs. They should calculate with the gram how heavy the child they are. The second one, the young children, they don't have so much blood, and so you must do the operation in a very tiny bit.
According to the members of the team, they have so far treated 60 cases in 5 days and are also planning to do a joint venture with the Rotary Club of Fajara with the goal of improving the infrastructure of the clinic. New equipment that will be used during operations, as well as staff training. To be able to perform these kinds of operations, one needs a lot of experience.
We want to send staff members to Germany the project is, Dr. Lee is doing a lot of work here and a wonderful work, but every year we have more cases. They are really difficult.
Yes.
And to save more lives, we need an upgrade of our medical equipment.
Yes.
That means we need some new equipment and some better equipment to do more operations. And 3 staff members should go to Germany to train on this equipment.
The Rotary Club of Fajara has been in existence for over 12 years and has made numerous contributions to the Gambian society through various initiatives. Among their aims and objectives are to work together to make a positive contribution in their communities and the world at large. Members of the Rotary Club of Fajara and staff were later taking on a conducted tour of the facility. For Grts News, I am Fatujani Mbaye.
A controversial telephone conversation that went wrong. Diplomats are reacting and giving a dressing down to the U.S. State Department after recent leaks to the mainstream revealed the murky wall of the diplomatic community. But could this strain U.S.-Russia relations? And comedy laced with purpose, Egypt's popular comedian making people laugh returns after 3 months of absence. We'll be back with these and other stories after this short break. Welcome back. Egypt is going through systematic changes. Within 3 years, the country has had 3 leaders. One may not be completely wrong to say the next president could be Defense Minister Field Marshal Abdul Al-Fattah al-Sisi. These days, a popular TV comedian, Bessam Yusuf, is trying to inject hope and consciousness into a nation that is in dire need of entertainment. As we hear in this report, the comedian's major challenge is to avoid presenting Egypt's rulers in a negative light. CNN's Reza Saya reports.
Nation builds. All eyes on a flat-screen TV. A wait for the clock to strike 10.
This is what many Egyptians have been waiting for.
Egypt, now minutes away from the return of Bassem Youssef, its most popular political comedian and satirist, back on TV after a 3-month layoff.
In many ways, this is a big test for freedom of speech here in Egypt and freedom to be funny.
As the show opens, the big question: will Youssef make fun of Egypt's army chief, a man rarely, if ever, criticized on Egyptian TV?
I don't think. No. In my personal opinion, I think he's not going to cross the lines.
Making fun of Egypt's leaders made Youssef famous during the 2011 revolution. His homemade political show, shot in his laundry room and posted on YouTube, drew 5 million viewers in 3 months. 1 year later, Youssef had his own TV show, his popularity soaring during the 1-year presidency of Mohammed Morsi. Rarely did a week go by without Youssef making fun of Morsi and his Islamist supporters. The comedian was sued for defaming the president, but the charges never stuck, and his show didn't stop. The network did finally pull the plug last October when Youssef mocked the almost cult-like adoration of Egypt's army chief, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the man who had ousted Morsi. Freedom of speech was under attack, rights groups complained. Youssef had violated editorial policy, was the network's response. In his comeback show on a new network, Youssef never directly mocked the army chief. Instead, he drew laughs with plenty of carefully crafted, backhanded jokes aimed at supporters of the army chief and a repressive political climate where criticizing authority is not allowed. In this skit, Youssef writes apology letters to those he offended. In another skit, he fights with his staff about mentioning the army chief's name. When the army chief's name does finally air, Youssef jokes the end is near. I think it's his best episode so far, says this fan. It's good that he's back.
What's clear is Bassem Youssef can still make Egyptians laugh, and he's very skilled at making fun of Egypt's leaders without crossing the so-called red line. Whether authorities will continue to tolerate his shows depends on how far he decides.